Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today between the Seattle Mariners and the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes, so let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Wednesday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, welcome back to the lineup, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. And on the right, Pittsburgh's very own Bryan Reynolds. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at third base, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting third, playing center field, it's J-Rod Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting fifth, playing left field, welcome back, Randy Arozarena. Batting sixth, playing DH, welcome back as well. It is the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Batting seventh, playing right field, Luke Raley. Batting eighth, playing second base, Cole Clutch Young. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for Seattle, the phenom, Colt Emerson. And on the mound for the Mariners, one of our aces, 6-5 record, ERA of 3.94. It is Bryan. Whoa. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Pittsburgh Pirates. Leading off for the Pirates at first base, Spencer Horwitz. Batting second, playing second base, Brendan Lau. Batting third, playing left field, Bryan Reynolds. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Nick Gonzalez. Batting fifth, DHing today, the former Oriole, Ryan O'Hearn. Batting sixth, catching today for Pittsburgh, Endy Rodriguez. Batting seventh, playing right field, Tyler Callahan. Batting eighth, playing center field, Jake Mangum. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for the Pirates, Jared Triolo. And on the mound for the Pirates, their ace, 6-3 record, ERA of 3.18. It is Braxton Ashcraft. And we're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Shout out to our female audience, as well as all of our new subs, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. Hawks in the building. What's good? Dank in the building. Justin in the building. Logan in the building. Tridents up. Daniel's in the building all day. I see you. And again, if you actually look at this lineup, with Woo on the mound, it's one of the strongest lineups we've had all year. I mean, the only difference would be Brendan Donovan starting at third base over J.P. Crawford. But other than that, J.P. has been pretty good, defensively at third, even though he did have the error yesterday. But overall, he's been pretty damn good defensively. Still one of the best hitters on the team, fourth in home runs with 10. So again, Donnie will be available a few days after the 4th of July. Now, we don't really know how healthy he'll be after that, but as long as we have a healthy J.P. Crawford to play third until he's ready, it definitely puts us in a very good position. But Crawford, Cal, Julio, Naylor, Randy, Canzone back in the lineup with that hamstring tweak, Luke Raley, Cole Young, Colt Emerson. I mean, there's no weaknesses there. And again, I've been waiting a long time for a solid lineup like this, 1 through 9 with 0 weaknesses. And on top of that, we got Brian Wu on the mound. We won the game yesterday. Obviously, we had to wait for Cole Young for some late inning heroics to hit a home run in his hometown. When we were down 2-1, hit a 2-run jack, and we ended up winning 3-2. And again, hopefully Brian Wu, gives up 2 runs or less. Magic number for the Mariners on offense will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits like it is every day. And if we end up getting those numbers, we should be able to compete late in the matchup. And if we win the first 2 games, then when we play tomorrow morning at 9:35 a.m. Pacific time, then we potentially can talk about the brooms and the sweep. But we got to take it one game at a time. 41-39 for the Seattle Mariners, 39-40 for the Pittsburgh Pirates here at PNC Park. And we are just getting ready to get started for the first pitch. Let's get on my screen situated here. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Wednesday. And again, it's going to be a very early start tomorrow. And anytime we end up going to the East Coast, a lot of times you're going to have games at 9, 10, 11 a.m. Pacific. And it's going to be one of the earliest of the season. I believe around 9:30, 9:35 a.m. tomorrow. So bright and early, eat your breakfast and hang out with the NWSF. And hopefully we win today and we can end up trying to get the sweep tomorrow. But again, Braxton Ashcraft, the righty, their ace, 6-3 record, 3.18 ERA. He's nasty. Luckily, we're not going against 3 lefties like we did against Boston. We're going against 3 righties. Again, a lot of the guys in the lineup for Pittsburgh are not really big names, but again, they have quite a few guys that are hovering around 300. Horowitz, the leadoff hitter at 282. Brian Reynolds on the thumb, 287. Nick Gonzalez leading the team with 296. And they also have actually Mangum raised his batting average last night to 299. So again, they got about half of the lineup really close to 300. So we got to be very careful on how we pitch here today. All right, give me 1 sec. All right, here we go. J.P. Crawford in the box. First pitch. 4-seam fastball, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch. Popped up and out of play. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Braxton Ashcraft to J.P. Crawford. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. High and away. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour there by Braxton Ashcraft. And like I mentioned, 6-3 record, ERA of 3.18. And in the box, third baseman J.P. Crawford. Cal Raleigh on deck. 1-2 pitch. Line drive right up the middle. Here we go. And that's why it's so important, to be able to have a good leadoff hitter like J.P. Crawford or Brendan Donovan, or maybe even a guy like Cole Young or Colt Emerson if J.P. and Donnie are hurt. Great job there by J.P. getting the party started early. We love that. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, who homered as well, and hopefully we'll be able to get home run number 9 here tonight. On deck will be Julio Rodriguez. But a great start, getting a single on Ashcraft early. First pitch, and a hard hit ball into right field, skates past the first baseman. Go. And J.P. Crawford at third. And just like that, within the first couple pitches, we got runners on the corners with no outs. I love it. Let's see if Julio can get us a 3-run jack or an RBI to get a 1-2-3-0 lead here early. And Cal's been extremely aggressive. Hasn't really worked out for him in a lot of the at-bats, but it does there, and it gets right past the first baseman, and we'll take that all day and all night. Spencer Horwitz should have had it. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. We need to get on the board early and often. Julio with a big base knock, and just like that, 1-0 Mariners. That's what I'm talking about. When's the last time the Mariners got back-to-back hits to start off the game? I don't remember. Nice job by JP with a single, Cal with a single, and then Julio with a single right down the middle. If you're going to test us, we'll make you pay. 1-0 Seattle. Trident's up. Next up is Josh Naylor. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Next up is Josh Naylor. First pitch to Naylor is high and away with a curveball. 0-1 count. On deck is Randy Arozarena. Fantastic start. And again, throughout this season, we haven't really had too many moments like that where we've been able to get 3 hits to start off a game. Very rare. 0-1 pitch popped up, and it's in foul territory. They're chasing it down, and it drops just in time. Thank God. No balls and 2 strikes from Braxton Ashcraft to Josh Naylor. And considering this is, one of their best players on the mound, very impressive. We're feeding off the momentum off the Cole Young game-winning home run from last night. Let's go. Great start here early. J.P. Crawford with a single, Cal with a single, Julio with a single, and getting the RBI. 1-0 Seattle with no outs and runners at first and second. Come on, Nails. Let's go, Naylor. And Naylor calls time. Randy Arozarena on deck. Dominic Canzone in the lineup. Welcome back. And then we got Rayleigh, Young, and Emerson at the bottom of the order. And honestly, if you look at our 1 through 9, it's one of the best in baseball. I mean, the only other thing that you could upgrade is Donnie for J.P. Crawford, but J.P.'s been playing pretty well lately. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Curveball fooling Naylor. He can't get the RBI and keep the rally going at least with 0 outs, and that is 1 away. Down goes Naylor. Next up is Randy Arozarena. On deck is Dominic Canzone, the Italian Stallion. Welcome back to the team with that hamstring tweak. And again, we've had quite a few guys with the tweak with the hamstring. Randy, Dominic Canzone, and Julio Rodriguez within the last few weeks. First pitch to Randy Arozarena is a ball, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Hard hit ball into deep right field. Wow, off the top of the wall. Go, go, go. Oh, they're going to call it foul? No way. Oh, my God. I thought that was going to be a big RBI. I couldn't even tell where the ball was, if that was a home run or not. Hit the top of the wall, bounced back into play. They're going to have to talk about it here to see if this ends up being, 2-0 Mariners and we get an RBI, or let's see where this ball actually hits. I mean, the cameraman couldn't even find it initially there. Deep right field, all the way towards the foul pole. And now they're going to talk it over. And we're going to get a review here. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And again, I was looking at the All-Star voting. Randy is the only Mariner that looks like is going to make the All-Star team for at least the time being as a reserve, unless we can get Julio Rodriguez enough votes to get him in there as well. But Randy right now, one of the most consistent hitters from the beginning of the season, just had that little 10-day IL stint. But again, if you haven't, voted for any Mariner players, please do. We would love to have more than just one. And again, we have no starters, but again, that's okay. We got a lot of good players. Some have been banged up this season, and we'll see what we get here after the review. It does hit the fence post there. All right, so not a home run there for Randy. It was a foul ball. Man, that could have been a huge RBI for us. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and second with 1 out. We're off to one of the hottest streaks that we've had to start the season. We normally don't get 3 hits in a row to start off with JP, Cal, and Julio, but here we are. Obviously, Naylor couldn't get a hit, but now we're with Randy with runners at first and second. Takes a pitch low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And down goes Arozarena with a heater by Ashcraft, and that is 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, the Italian Stallion. Welcome back. DHing today, easing him in slowly. The Dominic Canzone. First pitch in there to Canzone with the strike looking. 0-1 count. Yeah, but we want to have at least one Mariner player in the All-Star game. We don't want to have any. We got to have at least somebody represented, even if they don't play. We got to have at least one Seattle Mariner, in that All-Star game, whether Randy gets playing time or not. But he definitely, even though, the ground balls and the hustle have been an issue, he has been, our most consistent player from the beginning till now. 0-2 pitch. And Dom pops up. Should be a routine play here out in the outfield. And that is out number 3. We leave 2 stranded, but Julio gets the RBI, and we have an early 1-0 lead. All right, let's go to the bottom of the first inning with a nice 1-0 lead. Let's see who's up next here for the Pirates. Leading off for the Pirates at first base, Spencer Horwitz. Batting second, playing second base, Brandon Lau. And batting third, playing left field, Brian Reynolds. And on the mound for the Mariners with the 6-5 record, ERA of 3.94, it is Brian Wu. And for most of the season, he's been good. He's had a few hiccups along the way, but has started to kind of get back on track. And hopefully we'll be able to get an electric performance out of Brian Wu here today. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40-plus years on the radio for this legend and icon. He is retiring after the season from the booth. So every stream, we will dedicate it to this legend and icon, Rick Riz. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 59 subs to go to 24,400. And let's see where we're at on the likes. How close we are to 100 here early on as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Okay, we're at 31. Good start. 69 to go. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Love in the building. What's good? Callie in the building. What's good? Brian Wu on the mound with a 1-0 lead. And again, hopefully he gives up 2 runs or less. Maximum amount of runs our pitchers can give up as far as starters is 3. But again, that also implies that we'll get to 5 runs and 7 to 10 hits. But hopefully it ends up being 2 runs or less. Obviously 0 or 1 would be fantastic. But again, this Pirate team has got half of their lineup close to heading 300. So easier said than done. We did have some heroics from Cole Young, the Pittsburgh native, hitting the 2-run jack when we were down 2-1, winning 3-2. And we'll see what we get here today. First pitch is high and away. 4-seam fastball there by Wu, just missing. 96 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Brian Wu. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Mariners. Back-to-back hits to start off the game by J.P. Crawford, Cal Raleigh, and Julio Rodriguez with an RBI single, bringing J.P. home from third. 1-0 Seattle. Too bad Naylor, Randy, and Canzone couldn't continue it. Otherwise, we would have had a 2-3-4-0 lead, but just be patient. We'll get there. 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Spencer Horwitz. 1-2 pitch, high and inside. Count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Horwitz. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour, high and inside. Wu on the mound. Spencer Horwitz in the box. 2-2 pitch from Wu. Low and at the knees. Slider missing there by Wu. And we need Wu to be able to get and do some 0-2 counts, and hopefully we get some good defense behind him. We can't have a 3-error day like we did yesterday. Wu on the mound. Horowitz in the box. 3-2 pitch from Wu. Just at the bottom of the strike zone, doesn't get the call. And Horowitz with the walk. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Absolutely. First pitch to Brendan Lau. In there for a strike, 0-1 count. Got to get a few double plays. And again, we have, arguably the strongest lineup we've had since the beginning of the year. The only other option would be, Donovan at third over JP, but obviously he's injured. But this lineup looks great. We just need to be able to bring our A game like we tried to yesterday, even though the pitching at one point was a little sideways for Kirby and we had the errors, but we had just enough with Cole Young late in the matchup to get the victory. 0-1 pitch, high and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Lau. One pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and no outs. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Seattle. Tridents up, let's go M's. I'm happy we got to an early lead. Always great when the Mariners score first. Less pressure on the pitcher. 1-2 pitch, and Lau pops up. Julio is there, battling the sun, and that is 1 away. No fly zone in full effect, and Julio as reliable as they come in center field. Great job there by Julio Rodriguez. Next up in the 3-hole, left fielder Brian Reynolds. On deck in the 4-hole, third baseman Nick Gonzalez. Wu on the mound. Reynolds in the box. Let's see if we get a slow dribble up the middle for a double play, unless he's able to punch out the next 2 batters. First pitch, low and away. And Cal Raleigh is challenging. Let's see if we end up getting just a piece of the corner here. If Cal would have challenged the last pitch on the first batter, it would have been overturned. And there we go. Good Mariners challenge there by Cal. Call is overturned. Goes from a 1-0 count now to an 0-1. And again, we're going to need Cal to do it because Wu's not going to challenge any of his pitches. So it's up to Cal to make the right decision at the right time to kind of bail out his pitcher if he feels that he was wrongfully called a ball for a strike or a strike for a ball. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. 97 mile an hour high heater there for Wu. I like that. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Seattle. .287 average, 11 home runs, 51 ribbies. And again, they have half of their lineup just hovering around 300. So, even though they don't have a lot of recognizable names, got to be very careful on how you pitch to these Pirate hitters. 0-2 pitch from Wu. Big swing and a miss. And that's a nasty punch out there for Brian Wu. Great job, Brian. There we go. After walking that first batter. Great job on getting the punch out. Way to bring a little bit of electricity there on Brian Reynolds. That is 2 away. Next up for Brian Wu in the 4-hole, Nick Gonzalez. On deck is Ryan O'Hearn. First pitch to Gonzalez, hard hit ball, laser towards first, and fades into right field, out of play. Now, kind of crazy to think that the Mariners may not have any starters, playing in an all-star game at all, but hopefully we can get at least one or two guys as reserves. Randy's going to get in, but will Julio get in as a reserve? Pretty good chance. Not just based off his popularity alone. I mean, he has had a pretty damn good first half, the best he's had in his career. Maybe not compared to some of the other guys in MLB, but 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Gonzalez. And obviously, if Bryce Miller didn't get hurt and had more innings underneath him, good chance that he would have made it. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and another punch out there for Brian Wu. I like that, baby. 97 mile an hour, high heat, high and inside. Great job there by Wu, walking the first batter, getting punch outs on 2 batters in the first inning. 1-0 Seattle. Let's go to the top of the second inning and see if we can add on a few more runs. Next up for the Mariners, in the 7-hole, right fielder, Luke Raley. Let's see if we get a nuke out of Luke. Love his hustle. Batting second in the 8-hole, second baseman, Cole Clutch Young, one of the most clutch hitters in the 7th inning and beyond in baseball. And again, he proved it again last night, hitting a home run in his hometown. Great job, Cole. We love you. And batting third in the 9-hole, shortstop, the phenom, Colt Emerson. And on the mound for the Pirates, 6-3 record, ERA of 3.18. Their ace, Braxton Ashcraft. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 59 subs to go to 24,400. Still looking for our first dono on our dono train as we go to the top of the second inning with a 1-0 lead. And let's see how close we are to 100 likes here so far early in the broadcast. We are at 47. We're almost at the halfway point. Great start. 47 likes. 53 to go. Appreciate you, Angry. Brian Wu with a no-hitter so far, even though he ended up having a walk. But again, if Cal would have challenged that last pitch, would have gotten overturned. But again, we got to be careful with our challenges. But a great start for Wu so far, and a great start for our hitters at the top with Crawford, Raleigh, and Julio all getting hits. But now we just need Naylor, Randy, and Dom to do the same next time they get around. But let's see if we can start another rally here with Raley, Young, and Emerson. And this is probably my favorite lineup we've had all year. And again, the only thing that we're missing is Brandon Donovan. But again, JP Crawford is 4th on the team in home runs, so it's not like he's a slouch. He can definitely, play, that position, and arguably, probably the best option we have there, other than Brandon Donovan at third. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ashcraft to Luke Raley. 1-2 pitch. And that is strike 3 looking, and that doesn't happen very often against Luke Raley. Nasty pitch there by Braxton Ashcraft. Down goes Luke, and that is 1 away. Next up for Ashcraft in the 8-hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Let's go, Cole. On deck is Colt Emerson. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Ashcraft to Young. And I feel like once more, people recognize, Cole Young and Colt Emerson's talents as they get older. It wouldn't shock me, if they start getting, gold gloves, and, hopefully we end up seeing them in the All-Star game sooner than later as well. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Ashcraft to Young. But if you actually look at our lineup, 1 through 9, and even with Donnie obviously on the sidelines injured, I mean, we got a lot of really good players, and almost any of them, could be in an all-star game at, any given moment. So that's a credit to obviously the front office, which we did have some issues with, prior to getting some of these guys, but we've been drafting really well, and we just got to keep the momentum going. 3-1 pitch, pop behind the plate to the PNC Bricks. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. Chris in the building, what's good? Jack in the building, what's good? Trident's up, let's go M's. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Seattle. And Young with a big hit towards the wall. Go, go, go. And Young going for 2. Slide, slide. Yes. Keep your foot on the back. There we go. And Young in his hometown with a double. And that momentum is carrying over from last night. Trident's up. That's what I'm talking about, baby. One of my favorite players on the team. And again, you know, Young is a guy that can play offense and defense like Julio. And again, I love two-way players, you know, Colt Emerson, Cole Young, Julio Rodriguez. And, you know, we got a few others, you know, but again, it's just great to be able to see the Phenoms do their thing. And let's see if the second half of the CNC factory here can get it done. Next up is Colt Emerson. First pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away, 0-1 count. And I don't remember the last time that I've been this excited, you know, for, you know, 2 young guns, you know, on the squad. I mean, obviously, you know, we used to have, you know, Alex Rodriguez and Ken Griffey Jr. And even though I'm not an A-Rod guy, and some of you guys might be, you know, definitely the vibes were very high back then. And, you know, at this point with Cole Young and Colt Emerson, I'm feeling those similar type of vibes. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ashcraft to Emerson. You know, I love lefties. You know, just something about lefties. They're just so smooth. You know, whether it's a pitcher, you know, like Kate Anderson, or a young baller like Young and Emerson, it just, you know, not to say that righties aren't dope, you know, like Julio and a few of the others, but when you're a lefty and you're good, you know, there's just something about, you know, basketball players, football players, you know, hockey players, baseball players that are left. Obviously, there's less of them. But again, if you end up being really good as a left, there's just that different type of swagger and aura that they carry themselves with that I love. Pitch fouled off, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colt Emerson. Let's go, Colt. See if we get a little bit of a jolt here. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Did he go? No, he did not. Curveball there from Ashcraft. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second. Cole Young with 1 out. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Seattle. Let's see if we can make it 2-0 Seattle sooner than later. Angry with a 5er. Appreciate you. 2-2 pitch popped up. It's in foul territory. Should be a routine play. And 2 away. Appreciate you. Angry with a 5er. 95 to go. And, you know, I do this full time, and I've been doing this for 14 years. This is my 10th year on YouTube, and I've been full time for 4. So pretty much every year for the rest of my life, you know, I'm going to be doing almost every single game, you know, moving forward. So it is a commitment, you know, but again, if you have dreams and goals, you got to put in the work. And there's nothing that I would rather do than do this. And I appreciate you guys very, very much. Next up is J.P. Crawford. First pitch is a ball to JP there from Ashcraft, 1-0 count. Yeah, and I think a lot of us, you know, we don't really have a whole lot of love for A-Rod, not just for the fact that he took, you know, the highest money, you know, contract at the time, the 10 years, $250 million to go to the Rangers, but it's just his attitude, you know, and the way that he carried himself after that, and the steroids and everything else, you know. But again, if we're just talking about talent that he had early in his career with the Mariners with Griffey, it definitely put them on the map. And again, Cole Young and Colt Emerson are phenomenal. And again, I can't wait to see them grow. 1-1 pitch. And there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Time is called. Come on, JP. Yeah, and again, I don't even really claim Alex Rodriguez as a Mariner out of all the players that have ever played here. You know, definitely my least favorite. Pitch is low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ashcraft to Crawford. Hawks in the building. What's good? Wasn't really a big Robinson Cano guy, but I don't have any hatred or any bad feelings towards him, you know. 2-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. And Young goes back to second base. But I did like Nelson Cruz in that Robinson Cano era. I did like Kyle Seager, loved Felix Hernandez, loved Raul Ibanez. So, I mean, it's about personality, and also, are you a good person, on and off the field? And, not every player that comes here or that gets drafted here is going to leave a good name. Maybe the only guy that has a tarnished legacy, but everyone else is top tier. 3-2 pitch. And JP pops up. And it's in foul territory. Gonzalez is there, and that is out number 3. Young is stranded, but again, when you have guys like Ichiro, Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Edgar Martinez, there's a lot of fans that would be salivating, to have any of those 4 guys, to arguably have one of the best leadoff hitters of all time in Ichiro Suzuki, the guy that had the cleanest, prettiest swing that didn't do any steroids or PEDs, and Ken Griffey Jr., one of the most dominant tall lefties ever, and Randy Johnson, the big unit, and the best DH arguably of all time, Edgar Martinez. So, I mean, we've had, some of the best at their, respective positions. And we know A-Rod was a phenom, but again, I don't have a whole lot of love for him. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning and see who's next up for the Pirates. So we got back-to-back hits to start off the game. JP with a single, Cal with a single, Julio with a single, and Julio ended up getting the RBI when Crawford was at third. And just like that, 1-0 Seattle. All right, let's see who's up next here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Next up for the Pirates, in the 5-hole, DHing Ryan O'Hearn. Batting second in the 6-hole, catcher Endy Rodriguez. And batting third in the 7-hole, right fielder Tyler Callahan. And on the mound with a no-hitter so far, it is Brian Wu. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Angry got us started with the 5-er. Appreciate you. 95 to go. $59 subs to go to 24,400. This is the last day of our heat wave in Oregon and Washington. We've had 90-degree temperatures 3 days in a row, and we're going to have about a week of rain and, kind of cloudy weather for about 60 to 70 degrees, which is going to be great for us since we've had this heat wave these last 3 days. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. And let's see where we're at on the likes with 157 in the room. And we're at 61. We're almost there. 39 to go to 100. First pitch to Ryan O'Hearn. 4-seam fastball in there for a strike from Brian Wu. 0-1 count. Wu on the mound. Ryan O'Hearn, the former Oriole, in the box. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-1 pitch. Popped up a mile. Should be a routine play. JP is there. And that is 1 away. Good job there by JP Crawford. It's always going to be tough playing a new position. Brandon Donovan playing a new position at third. JP playing a new position at third. But again, they're just trying to do the best that they can. You're going to get an occasional error by Donnie and Crawford at third. But overall, both were pretty damn good defensively, and they're great hitters. All right, next up is Endy Rodriguez. First pitch from Wu to Rodriguez, high and away, 1-0 count. And luckily, we have a superstar in Julio Rodriguez. So if we do talk about Rodriguez's in the future, we don't really need to talk about A-Rod. We got a great one, a better one in Julio. 1-0 pitch. Popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Rodriguez. And go figure, the guy that ends up leaving Seattle chasing the money is the guy that cheats, while everyone else that comes here or got drafted here, ends up being clean with Edgar Martinez and Ichiro Suzuki, Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson, even though Randy came from the Expos and whatnot. But, great careers for those 4 guys. And it's going to be hard pressed to be able to find guys better than those 4 at their respective positions in the future. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Endy Rodriguez. Let's see if we get another punch out here by Wu. 1-2 pitch. High and inside. Backs him off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Rodriguez. 2-2 pitch from Wu. Popped him up. And out of play. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Seattle. Shout out to our female audience, as well as all our new subs and everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. I appreciate you very, very much. We are global. 2-2 pitch, high and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Rodriguez. And there may not be a lot of us that commit full-time to the MLB, but it is nice, to be able to represent one of the best teams in baseball in the Seattle Mariners. 3-2 pitch, high and away, and another walk there from Wu, which is rare. And Wu is frustrated there as he has his second walk of the day. Hasn't given up a hit yet, but again, we know Wu, just like Kirby, certain guys on our team don't really walk that many guys, but as long as those guys that end up getting walked don't end up scoring, we'll be just fine. We can end up getting a double play. And honestly, sometimes, when you do walk a guy, it does lead to a double play right after. So we'll see if we can get some of that magic. But other times when you walk a guy, it turns into a home run or an RBI or back-to-back-to-back hits and a little bit of a meltdown. But I don't think we're going to get that out of Will. Bottom of the second, runner at first with 1 out, 1-0 Seattle. 0-1 pitch in there for a strike. And another thing that's really great, is that you got JP at third, you got Naylor at first, you got Emerson at short, you got Young at second. I don't think we've ever had that type of defensive depth, in the infield ever before. A lot of talent. And when we get Donnie back at third as well, depending on how they rotate him and JP, it's going to be very, very special. And hopefully Donnie won't have any more, reoccurring injuries, because we're definitely going to need them on the second half push. It'll definitely give us a jolt in the arm, obviously hitting and obviously defending. And we'll see what they decide to do with JP at that point. But, they should still end up trying to play, JP here and there, even if that means, playing JP at DH, if we end up going against a certain type of squad with even if it ends up being a left-handed pitcher and they decide to stay away from like Rayleigh and Canzone, you got to be able to still get JP some playing time. 0-2 pitch, little check swing there by Callahan. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Callahan. Bottom of the second inning, runner at first with 1 out, 1-0 Seattle. King Felix was amazing. In that era where, we didn't end up making the playoffs for, 20 plus years, he was the best player that we had in that era. And just imagine if we had Felix Hernandez instead of Luis Castillo right now and how dominant we would be. If we could just swap Felix for Luis Castillo, man, could you imagine? But definitely that was the player that was the most deserving to play with this team now. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. But again, I did like Kyle Seager, Raul Ibanez, Nelson Cruz. We had a few guys that were fun to watch back then, but nobody was really on the Felix level. And that is 2 away. Next up is Jake Mangum. Yeah, well, of course, we didn't have the same type of talent. I mean, we were striking out 15 to 20 times a game back then, so... And it definitely shows, how far we've come, from that era to the era that we're at now. So, from 2022 to 2042, we should be able to make the playoffs in that 20-year stretch, probably 13 times out of 20 years. And out of those 13 times in 20 years, hopefully we go to a couple World Series. We may not win the first time that we go, but with the squad that we have, as long as we don't, have any major season-ending injuries and we keep building, we're getting closer and closer every year. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first with 2 outs. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Mariners. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour there by Wu. 2 balls and 1 strike from Wu to Mangum. Two-one pitch. Popped up and out of play. Count still remains 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Mariners. Jesse in the building. How are you? Mangum batting 299, just under 300. And again, they do have half of their lineup in the 280s and up. And I'm hoping that, we can get the Mariner batting averages up a little bit after the All-Star break. Warmer weather, it tends to, make those baseballs fly a little bit further. And it seems like they've maybe even changed some of the baseballs they've used since they have started at the beginning of the year. At least that's what's rumored. 2-2 pitch popped up. And nice job there by Colt Emerson running behind J.P. Crawford in foul territory and getting the job done. Gosh, we're good. I love it. End of the second inning, 1-0 Seattle. And again, I love having great defensive players. Defense creates offense in every sport, not only in baseball, but in the NHL, and obviously especially in basketball and in the NFL and college football. All right, next up for the Mariners in the top of the third inning with a home run yesterday, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Batting second, 1-for-1 with an RBI, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, 0-for-1 with a K, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Trident's up, let's go M's. 59 subs to go to 24,400. We had 6.1 million views a few days back, as well as got our biggest single donation on the channel ever, $1,500 by Odin's son. Shout out to him. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. And let's see where we're at on the likes. With almost 170 in the room, we're at 65. We're almost there. 35 more to get to 100. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Brian Wu with a no-hitter so far. 2 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs. He does have 2 walks, but that's okay. 3 Ks, 35 pitches, 24 strikes, 3.86 ERA. Nice to see Wu kind of getting into his bag. And then Braxton Ashcraft, 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 3 Ks, 39 pitches, 27 strikes with a 3.21 ERA. And he came into the game with a 6-3 record, ERA of 3.18, their ace. So, a lot of the quote unquote experts didn't really, think that we were going to, be able to compete. But again, our lineup 1 through 9 is probably the best lineup that we've had all year, minus, Brandon Donovan for J.P. Crawford. But JP's been playing well in the box, the most patient hitter, and his defense overall has been pretty good lately, even though he did have the error yesterday. 0-2 pitch, fouled off, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. 0-2 pitch. Hard hit ball into left field, fading foul. (0-2 pitch, popped up into center, and that is 1 away. Got to make sure we get Cal out of those 0-2 counts. He's got a lot of those lately. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. On deck is Nails, first baseman Josh Naylor. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch into Julio with a curveball, high and inside, 0-1 count. And again, we've had a lot of injuries this year, but I would love to see Randy and Julio in the All-Star game. But again, we'll see, if that will happen or not. Right now, Randy is the only one as a reserve that has enough votes, to be able to get in. So if you haven't been voting, please do. And, it would be nice to have at least one representative in the All-Star game, even if they don't start. But again, if we didn't have any injuries, probably a pretty good chance that we would have had at least one starter and a couple guys as reserves. But, just because you don't have a whole lot of guys in the All-Star game doesn't necessarily mean that we can't make it, to the World Series or the ALCS. So 0-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. Curveball, 85 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. And I would like to see some bunts drop down today as well. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Rodriguez, and that is 2 away. And we had Crawford, Raleigh, and Rodriguez get hits to start off the game. Naylor, Rosarina, and Canzone were not able to, but hopefully this time around we'll be able to get a rally going with 2 outs. And again, we've been very good with 2-out rallies in the last 3 weeks to the last month in the season. First pitch from Ashcraft to Naylor. 0-1 count. Little foul tip there. That dribbles behind the plate. Sinker 97 miles an hour. 0-1 count. Braxton Ashcraft, their ace on the mound. And Josh Naylor in the box. And finally, we have, most of our guys, healthy besides Brandon Donovan. Obviously, we still have guys in the bullpen. Matt Brash, Cooper Criswell, and Carlos Vargas that will not be available until August around the deadline, which is going to hurt us. But as far as our regular guys, everyone is pretty much back. Hard hit ball, deep right field. And fair ball all the way to the wall. Go, Naylor, go. Run, Josh. Run. And safe. There we go. Josh Naylor with a double. And again, base running hasn't been very good for the Mariners. But again, lately, we've been able to stretch singles into doubles. And some of our guys are a little slower, like Josh Naylor. But great job there by Josh on stretching that single into a double. And let's see if we can get that RBI here out of Randy Rosarina. Great job, Nails. Let's see if Randy can get it done on deck. The Italian Stallion, welcome back, Dominic Canzone. Randy is so overdue for a home run or a big RBI. But even if he ends up getting on with a single or a walk, or if he gets hit by a pitch and doesn't get hurt, we just need to keep this inning going. Mike in the building, what's good? Top of the third inning, 1-0 Mariners. We started off the game with back-to-back hits. Julio with an RBI single, scoring JP from third, and that's how we're at 1-0 right now. 0-1 pitch, little slow dribbler, throw back to first, and that is out number 3. We leave another one stranded. Josh Naylor at second, but again, it's only a matter of time before we get it going. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors so far today. We had 3 yesterday, and they got no runs, no hits, no errors. Brian Woo's got a no-hitter so far. Has 2 walks, but so far, Woo's looking pretty damn good. All right, let's see who's up next here for the Pirates as we go to the bottom of the third inning. And it truly is an honor to be able to be represented on YouTube for the Seattle Mariners. And again, someone's got to be able to do this team right. And again, I appreciate every single one of you. Next up in the 9-hole, shortstop, Jared Triolo. Batting second, 0-for-0 with a walk in his first at-bat. First baseman, Spencer Horwitz. And batting third in the 2-hole, second baseman, Brandon Lau. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 59 subs to go to 24,400. And we gained another sub moments ago. Appreciate you. 58 subs to go to 24,400. Less than 700 subs to go to 25,000, which is exciting. We're at 5 on the Dono train, 95 to go. And we're getting closer to 100 likes. We're at 70, 30 to go. Brian Woo on the mound. Jared Triolo in the box. All it takes is 1/2 inning, to explode, to get to, 3, 4, 5 runs. So this game is far from over. First pitch, a little slow dribbler to JP. Nice smooth. Oh, wide throw to Naylor. Is that another error by JP? Golly, JP, come on, my guy. I know you're playing a new position, but you can't be throwing sidearm. You got to be able to take your time. And let's see who they'd give that error to. I assume it's JP Crawford. And that should have been an easy out there for JP Crawford. Definitely he's better at fielding than throwing. That's definitely not his forte. Obviously fielding, he's great. But how do you not make a normal, accurate throw? Come on, JP. Back-to-back days with errors. That's not good. We got to make sure we're helping our pitchers out. And again, it ends up being like one of those crazy plays and you end up throwing an error, trying to make a play. That's one thing, but that was as routine as it comes. And again, Brendan Donovan wouldn't make that type of play. First pitch fouled off, 0-1 count. Well, it's also, guys playing new positions, but again, JP was doing that even at shortstop as well, so again, at some point we may need to move JP to just DH, and not an everyday DH, because that would obviously be more Dom's role. But like we're talking next year, maybe we just don't have him field at all and we just have him DH or be the backup DH to Dom, because again, it seems like he just can't field like the way that he used to. And again, he is playing a new position, but it's one thing to have, fielding errors, but you shouldn't have any throwing errors, but again, he kind of goes from sidearm to regular over the shoulder type of throws. Just keep it the same. And again, JP Crawford back-to-back days with errors, not good. Little slow dribbler here up the middle. Give me a double play. Give it to me. Throw to first. Got him. Let's go. And JP Crawford, he might not be able to throw it to first base to Josh Naylor, but I know a couple other guys that can. Cole Young and Colt Emerson. Great job there with the double play. Bailing out Brian Wu. Down goes Horowitz. Let's go. Yeah, definitely need more bunts. Base running has been bad. We've had a lot more errors than normal, and it's not just JP Crawford. There's been a lot of players that have, had issues and mistakes, but Brendan Donovan should be back around July 7th, July 8th, and then that will make JP, more of a bench guy, and I don't think that's going to hurt anybody's feelings. He is a good patient hitter that could come into the game late, and pinch hit, but again, if he's going to continue to make errors, we can't really afford to have him out there, and we know Donnie's going to be a better hitter and a better defender. Big strike looking high and away there to Lau. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Seattle. And again, if you're going to walk a guy like Wu or have an error like JP, let's just make sure that, based on that particular play, that those guys that get on board don't come home. And so far, so good. We've had a couple walks out of Wu, JP with an error, next play, double play. Not, I guess, all is forgiven, but, at least, the game is still 1-0. 1-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Seattle. In the first couple games, JP was great. No errors, was playing really good, very confident. But again, playing a new position is not easy. I mean, we obviously saw even Brandon Donovan, who normally would play like second and short, for the Cardinals, and then had a few errors, but also a few spectacular plays at third as well before he got hurt. Just got to be able to figure that position out. And if we bring Miles Mastrobuoni back up to the team, that could be a guy that could play third. He might not be the greatest hitter, but more times than not, he won't make those errors. He'll at least get the ball to Naylor on time. Pitch fouled off right down the middle there by Brandon Lau. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Seattle. Would love to see Johnny Pereda and Miles Mastrobuoni back on this squad. 2-2 pitch. And Lau pops up. Deep right field. And Luke Raley is there, and that is out number 3. Great job there for the no-fly zone. End of the third inning, 1-0 Mariners. All right, let's go to the top of the fourth inning. We have been able to get guys on base pretty much every inning, but we haven't been able to bring everyone home. Let's see if we can finally add on another run here in the top of the fourth. Let's see if we can get to 2 or 3 this inning. Next up in the 6 hole, welcome back to the team. DHing the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Welcome back. We love you. Batting second in the 7 hole, right fielder 0 for 1 with a K, a guy that always hustles, and I love that, Luke Raley. Let's see if we get a nuke out of Luke. And batting third, 1 for 1, second baseman Cole Clutch Young, playing in his hometown, got the big 2-run jack, got the baseball back from the fan, and ended up giving it to his high school coach that was on the air yesterday. They have a great connection, and what a great gesture for Cole to be able to pay homage to his high school coach that was interviewed on the broadcast yesterday, and to be able to say, you know, thank you for everything that you've done. And all his friends and family were there last night, and they're there today. And Cole Young, he is a real one. He's clutch for a reason. We love him. Let's go to the top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Seattle. 58 subs to go to 24,400. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. Now let's see how close we are to 100 likes as we approach the top of the 4th inning. All right, we're at 74. We're almost there. $74 likes, 26 to 100. But also we have to take in consideration, you know, just like when we go against lefties, when we go against a really good righty, sometimes, you know, the hits are going to be limited. The home runs are going to be limited. This is their ace. He's 6-3 with a 3.18 ERA. So most teams that play Braxton Ashcraft don't really get a whole lot. So for us to get back-to-back hits to start off the game was shocking. But obviously, you know, he's somewhat calmed down. I mean, we do have 5 hits. And they don't even have 1 hit yet. So, you know, it is what it is. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 0-2 pitch, line drive, and foul. Slider 91 miles an hour there by Braxton Ashcraft. No balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Mariners. I was there that game. I've been going to the 4th of July game the last 2 years. Orioles 2 years ago, and obviously against the Pirates last year. And then obviously they played the Blue Jays this year, and me and my best friend will be there as well. 1-2 pitch, fouled off high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ashcraft to Canzone. We play the Toronto Blue Jays. 1-2 pitch, big, swing and a miss, down goes Dom, and that is 1 away. I believe Cal homered twice on the 4th of July last year. And then then Dylan Moore, out of all people, hit a home run that game as well, I believe. So, and hopefully we'll be able to beat up the Blue Jays as we see the 4th of July bucket hat that they'll be giving away, and I'll be getting one of those at the game. I would normally prefer, you know, hat like the one that I have on that I got at the 4th of July game 2 years ago, probably one of the cleanest hats that they've ever had. And then they had another pretty nice one that I've shown on stream for last year, you know, but again, always, you know, good to be able to either get a bobblehead or a hat. Usually those are the things that they master. And I'm not really a Funko Pop kind of guy. Out of all the toys and collectibles I collect, that's really the only thing I don't collect. Not really for me, but, you know, there's a lot of people that like those, but I'd rather go with McFarlane's or starting lineups or bobbleheads, personally. No balls and 2 strikes to Luke Raley. 0-2 pitch, fouled back behind the plate to the PNC Park Bricks. No balls and 2 strikes from Ashcraft to Raley. Yeah, Demo with a homer, Randy with a homer, Cal with 2 that game. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ashcraft to Raley. You know, and I do miss, you know, going to 2 to 3 games a year, but again, you know, me being able to broadcast and, you know, do what I do here for you guys is a pleasure. And, you know, I'll be going once a year, you and also I got, big responsibilities with my pup. So, normally I would be able to go to Seattle, stay at a nice hotel, for a couple days and, go to back-to-back games and maybe go to another game later on. But, I got to make sure that my pup is doing well. So 1 game a year, at least for the time being. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Rayleigh, and that is 2 away. Next up is Cole Clutch Young. The most clutch hitter in the 7th inning and beyond as far as second basemen in the MLB. Let's see if Cole Young can get some magic going here. First pitch, Young, line drive up the middle. Wow, what a jumping athletic catch. And that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning and see who's up next here for the Pirates. Next up for the Pirates, 0 for 1 with a K, left fielder Brian Reynolds. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, third baseman Nick Gonzalez. And batting third, 0 for 1, DHing Ryan O'Hearn. Now let's go over the stats so far. So with the Brian Wu situation, 3 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks, 46 pitches, 32 strikes with a 3.82 ERA. He's got a no-hitter. And Braxton Ashcraft, after giving up back-to-back hits in that first inning, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 6 Ks, 64 pitches, 50 strikes with a 3.14 ERA. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Low scoring affair here early on, but that doesn't mean that we can't explode, on Ashcraft at the very end and then with some of the bullpen options that come in. 58 subs to go to 24,400. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. Now let's see how close we are to 100 likes now. We should be getting close. We're at 77, 23 to go. If we can get 23 people out of the 180 that are in the room to hit the like button, we'll be at 100. Shout out to our female audience, as well as all our new subs, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. I don't know if Wu's going to get to 7. He's only at 3 right now. I mean, he's got a chance to get there, but, normally 4 to 7 Ks unless he's really locked in. And then, then it's like, he gets 5 Ks within the first 2 innings and he might be able to get, somewhere between 9 and 12. But, only sitting at 4 right now. I don't know if he'll get to 7. Really depends on how many more innings he goes. If he goes to the 6th inning, I'd probably say no. But if he goes to the 7th inning, there might be a chance where he can get that 7th K, an 8th K possibly. First pitch from Wu to Reynolds, high and away. Slider 83 miles an hour, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, popped up and out of play. High and away, 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brian Reynolds. Brian Wu on the mound. Brian Reynolds in the box. Bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0 Mariners. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Wu. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Mariners. And it feels like, Bryce Miller is our 1, right? Wu right now kind of maybe feels like our 2. Logan Gilbert probably 3. And then Hancock 4. And then Castillo and Kirby at the bottom. And again, hopefully Kirby, will be able to turn it around, but again, he hasn't really been that great in the last, few, starts and whatnot, but I still have faith in him. And again, we just got to hope that he can get out of his own head and we can start, playing well with him. But again, he did have a really bad stretch of 5 straight bad, starts, even though he did have 10 Ks in one of them, but we didn't give him any run support. And a little line drive right in front of Julio off the 1 hopper, and Julio can't get it in time, and Reynolds with a single. Next up is Nick Gonzalez. Let's see if we can get a strikeout and a double play or a double play and a strikeout. On deck would be Ryan O'Hearn. First pitch in there for a strike, looking down the middle, sinker, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away. Sinker, 96 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and no outs. Bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Mariners. One pitch, a little slow dribbler up the middle. Double play, throw to first. Got him, no! Oh, I need to see a replay. So we get the fielder's choice there at second base. Let me see a replay at first. They say he's safe. Can we get a replay? Pretty close play at first, but they're not showing a replay just yet. All right, looks like it's just 1 away. No replay as they're just, Brad Adams still talking. First pitch from Wu to O'Hearn, low and out the knees, 1-0 count. Bottom of the fourth inning, runner at first with 1 out, 1-0 Seattle. Just missed another double play to help Wu out. One-0 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to O'Hearn. And even though JP and Josh Naylor may not be as good as defensively as they were last year, still, can make plays. But thankfully, we got Cole Young and Colt Emerson up the middle, and not a lot gets passed down. 1-1 pitch popped up into foul territory. Randy is there, and it's a fair ball. Come on, Randy, hustle. If Randy just would have hustled, he could have made that out. And again, he may end up being a reserve for the All-Star game, but again, normally it's ground balls where he has an issue. This is like effort. Run, Randy. Like, why did you stop there? And again, and I know he's just coming back from the hammy, but, even when he was healthy, things like that happen pretty often with Randy. And now we have runners at second and third. And again, I don't want to have any liabilities out there in the outfield. And Randy just let a freebie go. Should have been an out that turns into a double. Now runners at second and third with 1 out. Popped up. And again, I wish just a lot of these guys could be like Cole Young and Colt Emerson and Robles and Julio and Rayleigh, where they actually hustle. Randy is, by far one of the laziest on the team. And again, just show a little effort. I don't expect you to Superman and dive for it, but you could have made that out. There's no question. 0-1 pitch popped up and out of play. And if they end up scoring a run or taking the lead, Randy, it definitely is going to be to blame. Besides, Wu, depending on what kind of pitch it ends up being. But hopefully we'll be able to get out of Randy's mistake and we can get out of this mini jam with runners at second and third and 1 out. Careless play by Randy. Oh, 2 pitch. Popped up. And out of play. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Rodriguez. Try to sub. Let's go, Ems. We got to bail Wu out. Come on, Wu. 0-2 pitch to Rodriguez. Low and at the knees. Almost hits him on the foot with the sweeper. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Endy Rodriguez. Rodriguez in the box. Wu on the mound. 1-2 pitch. Hard hit ball into right field is fair. And that's going to bring home both runs. God damn it, Randy. And Rayleigh finally gets it off the wall. And just like that, 2-1 Pirates. Fuck. And again, momentum works like that in baseball. One lazy play in left field gets to that next batter, and all of a sudden they get a hold of one, and that 1-0 lead just evaporated just like that. Both runners come home, and a 2-run RBI double by Endy Rodriguez. Defense creates offense, And again, also bad defense creates offense for the other team as well. Next up is Tyler Callahan. We got to make sure that that's all the runs that Woo gives up, but we need help here. And another hit. Woo is having a meltdown as this one goes into the outfield and scores another run. 3-1 Pittsburgh. Jesus. We need a mound visit by Cal. And he's going in for a triple. Jesus. 3 extra base hits there. And just like that, that 1-0 lead, now we're down 3-1. And again, if Randy would have made that out, maybe we're only down, 2-1, or maybe it's only 1-1, but big hit there by Callahan. Next up is Jake Mangum. And it shows you how quick, momentum can shift in baseball. One lazy play in left field, can turn into back-to-back, hits for RBIs. And then all of a sudden, that 1-0 lead that you're trying to protect with a no-hitter turns into a 3-1 deficit. And finally, we get the mound visit by Cal, probably 1 or 2 batters too late now, but better late than ever. And it's just like a coach in basketball, being able to call a timeout, at the right time to kind of stop the bleeding and stop the momentum. If you don't have that mound visit in time, and you end up waiting too long, then instead of it being 1-1, it turns into 2-1 and 3-1. And hell, it could end up being 4-1 or 5-1 before this inning is over. And Woo was great the first couple innings, but now has given up 3 runs. And I still think that we can win this game. We got a great lineup, and we need some home runs. And, obviously we need a meltdown, on their end as well. But very unfortunate, on one lazy play by Randy pulling up, thinking it's foul, and it ended up bouncing fair. If he just would have caught that ball, maybe we're only tied or down a run, not down 2, potentially 3. First pitch from Woo to Mangum, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And momentum, Uncle Mo is real. When it rains, it pours. One bad thing leads to another, but when things are going great, like it did in the first inning, back-to-back hits for JP, Cal, and Julio, but now they're getting back-to-back RBIs, and they're making us pay the price. Pitch fouled off there by Mangum. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at third and 1 out. We cannot let that runner from third score. We're already down 2. We don't want to be down 3 or 4. And again, the most that we can come back from, is 5 runs. That, as far as the 2026 season, anything above 5, we're, and another hit and another RBI. 4-1 Pittsburgh. Yikes. And again, like I mentioned, they may not have a lot of, well-known names, but half of their lineup is batting right under 300, and they're showing you that even with good pitchers like Woo, they can rough him up as well. Rough. 4-run inning here in the 4th. Brutal. Next up is Jared Triolo. And it's not like we have a lot of great options in the bullpen. Again, we have a lot of our guys injured there, and they're not willing to call up Cade Anderson yet, so... And Woo's pitch count is at 66, so it's not like they're going to pull him this inning. First pitch is high and inside, 1-0 count. And again, our pitchers do much, much better at home than they do on the road. I mean, unless you're Bryce Miller, but again, other than that, that might be the only reliable guy at home and on the road. But seems like when everyone else goes on the road, they just have fucking meltdowns. 1-0 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jared Triolo. We need a double play bad. We're already down 3. But again, if we get a home run, we get right back in it, or an RBI, but we need to get back-to-back or back-to-back hits for that to happen. 1-1 pitch, popped up and out of play. But the Pirates are definitely feeding on the momentum now. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first with 1 out, bottom of the 4th, 4-1 Pittsburgh. And we do play early tomorrow at 9:35 a.m. Pacific time. So, come eat breakfast and hang out in the morning. And again, both teams have 5 hits. We have an error, JP Crawford. But the difference is they got 4 runs here in the 4th inning. And we got to get these last 2 outs. 1-2 pitch. And Wu is rattled. Can't hit the strike zone anymore. Obviously he's afraid to pitch down the middle because it's already gotten torched, by quite a few batters here in the 4th inning. Two pitch. And fouled off, out of play. Yeah, Wu's still in. They're not going to pull him now. We don't have enough of a bullpen to pull a guy when they're doing this. If his pitch count was a little higher, like in the 80s, then maybe we could, pull him. But just because we pull Wu and we bring in like Bizzardo or Ferrer or Spire, it doesn't mean that those guys are going to pitch well. We've seen guys come in like that normally we trust, and the same thing happens to them. So, and then we got Nick Davila, out of the AAA guys, Rucker and Hoppy. Davila is the best one, but he walks a lot of guys, but his ERA is 0. But, we'll see. But again, bullpen is definitely a huge weakness for us, and the faster that they call up Cade Anderson, the better that we're going to be, to bail out our starting pitchers and to bail out some of our other bullpen, shitty options. 3-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play here from Jared Triolo. Count is full. Long inning here for Brian Wu. 3 balls, 2 strikes, runner at first, only with 1 out, bottom of the 4th, and we had a 1-0 lead before Randy got lazy and pulled up on a play in left field. And momentum has swung, and they've scored 4 runs here in the 4th inning on Brian Wu. Let him know, Velasco. But still plenty of time to come back. But again, we definitely need some home runs or RBIs as soon as possible. 3-2 pitch. And they call that a ball, but Cal is challenging, and hopefully this paints the corner. I think it will. Got to have something go our way. There we go. Good challenge by Cal Raleigh, and a walk turns into strike 3. And that call is overturned. Good job, Cal Raleigh. 2 for 2 with his challenges, bailing Wu out, and that is 2 away. Next up, back at the top of the order, leadoff hitter, first baseman Spencer Horwitz. Facing his 8th batter this inning. Jesus. And Valdez is coming in to pinch hit. Valdez in for Horwitz. And Mangum is safe at second with no throw by Cal. And hopefully we can get a meltdown of our own. We're going to definitely need, a 2 to 4 run inning if we want to come back and win this game. One 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss to Valdez. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Valdez. Esmerlin Valdez in the box. Two balls and 1 strike from Wu to Valdez. And Valdez drills one to deep center field, off the wall. And Mangum and scores. And just like that, 5-1 Pittsburgh. Jesus. And that was almost a home run there by Valdez. Oh, Brian Wu. Golly. You got to get a mound visit now. And Esmerlin Valdez with a big hit. Now we got a mound visit by the whole team, but a little too little too late. And a big RBI that almost was a home run that scores another run there for Pittsburgh by Esmerlin Valdez, who ended up pinch hitting for Spencer Horwitz. And now we're at one of their best hitters, Brandon Lau. God, can we just get out of this inning already? Golly. Now we got Michael Rucker, a AAA pitcher, coming in, and that's not ideal. You know, when Dan Wilson, you know, when we're down, you know, and you bring in a suspect bullpen pitcher, you know, are we really going to be able to keep this game close, or are they just going to keep adding on? You know, you want to bring in one of your good, you know, guys in the pen, so that way that hopefully the offense can slowly but surely chip away. But if you end up being down by 4 runs and then you essentially wave the white flag and give up, and then you just throw in a random guy, a AAA guy from the pen, hell, it might be 10-1, you know, in a matter of minutes. So I don't know if I like this strategy by Dan Wilson, almost just giving up on this game, bringing in Rucker, unless Rucker can, you know, do a good job. But that's a lot to ask for a AAA guy down 4 runs. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first with 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th, 5-1 Pittsburgh. What a long inning. I feel like we've been on this inning for like a half hour. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Brandon Lau. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and away. He was going for the moon there, Brandon Lau. Change up 88 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first with 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning, we had a 1-0 lead, and that evaporated this inning, and now we're down 5-1. Yikes. I got Michael Rucker warming up in the pen, a AAA pitcher. 2-2 pitch. Popped up and out of play. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th, 5-1 Pittsburgh. 2-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th, 5-1 Pirates. Come on. Let's get out of this inning already. And it really does show you, you know, one error and one little, you know, mistake, you know, leads to, you know, momentum swinging in the other team's favor. I mean, we've had it go in our favor, you know, before as well, but terrible, terrible inning. One of the worst innings for Brian Wu here in 2026. And we know he's had a few meltdowns. You know, he was our best starter last year and then got hurt at the end of the year. And, you know, with him getting hurt probably cost us a chance of making the World Series and, you know, getting past the Blue Jays. If we would have had Wu for 3 games in the ALCS and 3 games in the World Series, who knows what would happen. But this year, a different story. Slow dribbler, Cole Young, finally getting one to Josh Naylor. Lau was out. And after a 30-minute bottom of the 4th inning, we finally are done. But now we're down by 4 runs instead of having a 1-0 lead. Rough. And now we just have to try to chip away the best that we can. You know, we got to try to be able to get to 2 or 3 like ASAP. Yeah, I mean, Rucker is better than Hoppy, not as good as Davila. But again, even with that being said, you know, Jose Ferrer and Gabe Spire and Eduard Bizardo, you know, sometimes, you know, they look great and other times, you know, they have meltdowns. So, but now we just got to try to do our best and chip away. But, you know, who knows? I mean, if Wu can't get outs, I hope Rucker can. And, you know, we're going to need some defense and some help. All right, next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1, shortstop in the 9-hole, Colt Emerson. We could definitely use a home run from Colt. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run. Third baseman, J.P. Crawford. I wouldn't mind him dropping down a bunt. And batting third, 1 for 2, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. We may need Cal to hit a homer to get back into this. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. We're going to the top of the 5th, and now we're down by 4. $58 subs to go to 24,400. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. Let's see how close we are to 100 likes with 156 in the room. And we're at 92. We're almost there. 8 more to get to 100. Woo, I don't think he sucks. Just a tough game. I mean, all of our starters have gotten ripped apart at one point or another besides Bryce Miller this year. First pitch in there to Colt Emerson for a strike looking. High and away, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away, curveball 84 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Ashcraft to Emerson. And we obviously know our pitchers are going to do better, at home than on the road. And then also we're doing this piggybacking type of approach. So not ideal, especially if it ends up being with guys like Bryce Miller. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Emerson, and that is 1 away. Next up, third baseman J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. First pitch into J.P. Crawford. Slider. 0-1 count. J.P. in the box. Cal Raleigh on deck. Got to try to get it to 5-3, by at least the 8th inning, and also assuming that we can hold them to 5 and they don't score anymore. But that might be tough with Rucker coming in unless he shocks us. 0-2 pitch, a little dribbler towards first, and foul. JP with a little bit of a hobble there. Hopefully he's okay. Top of the 5th inning, 5-1 Pittsburgh. Ashcraft, their ace on the mound. 6-3 record with an ERA of 3.18. So, I can't really expect too much. And we started off the game with back-to-back hits by Crawford, Raleigh, and Julio, which was shocking to say the least, but we haven't really got anything since. 0-2 pitch. High and inside, and that's strike 3 looking. Down goes JP, and that is 2 away. Nasty pitch there by Ashcraft. Four-seam fastball right on the corner. And that is 2 away. Next up is the big dumper. Cal Raleigh. On deck is Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, Cal. First pitch fouled off by Cal. 0-1 count. Yeah, but Woo's not our ace this year. Miller is our top dog. So, and obviously everyone else has gone up and down from Hancock to Woo to Gilbert, where they've been great and also terrible. Kirby started off good as Cal pops up, and that is out number 3. And obviously Gilbert started off terrible and has gotten better as the season has gone on. Kirby was good early, but now has been struggling, lately. And then obviously Castillo is, obviously at the very bottom with Kirby at the moment, and we'll see where that goes. 5-1 Pittsburgh. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th, and I assume Rucker is coming in, and hopefully we'll keep it at 5 for the rest of the game, but that might be a tough ask. But on the bright side, at least we won yesterday, and we have a good chance to win tomorrow. But I still think that we're going to have a chance to kind of creep back in this game once Ashcraft exits, but when will he exit? That's the question. Next up, 1 for 2 with a K, left fielder Brian Reynolds. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a run and a K, third baseman Nick Gonzalez. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, DHing in the 5-hole, Ryan O'Hearn. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to dig deep. And again, the most that we have been able to come back from is 5 runs. So at least we're not down 5. We're down 4, but, we'll see. All right, 6 more subs to go to 100. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're at 94 likes. 6 to 100. If we can get 6 people to hit that like button, we'll be at 100. And that'll help, obviously, with the algorithm and the metrics. Yeah. Wu is 6-5, so way far from being where he was last year. He's had a lot more meltdowns this year than he's had, compared to last year. So Wu was our number one last year, but right now, Bryce Miller's at the very top, and then everyone else has been rotating between 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just depending on where they're at. Hancock was at the 2, and has been kind of up and down lately. Gilbert has gotten better recently, which is great. And hopefully that'll continue. And then obviously, as we know, now Wu kind of trending more now towards the back end, with Kirby and obviously Castillo, which is kind of shocking, but at least we have Bryce Miller and Gilbert and Hancock, and, for the most part, trending in one direction and the other guys kind of trending in the other. But again, it's hard to be able to put together, recently it looks like, back-to-back, wins as a starter or 3 wins in a row. It just is, you see a guy get a couple wins, then he has a couple bad starts. Not a lot of consistency besides Bryce Miller. All right, Rucker is in the game. First pitch, big swing and a miss to Brian Reynolds, 0-1 count. But again, we just got to try to do the best with what we have available. Oh, 0-1 pitch in there for another strike from Rucker to Reynolds. And again, Rucker is better than Alex Hoppe, not as good as Davila, but hopefully we'll be able to get a few cheap outs here with Rucker and maybe get a little bit of help behind him with some double plays. 0-2 pitch, throws a ball to Reynolds. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rucker to Reynolds. Bottom of the 5th, we're down 5-1, but the game is not over yet. Little slow dribbler up the middle, throw it to first, and that is 1 away. Good defense there by the M's. At least I can trust Cole Young and Cole Emerson throwing the nailer, and I know it's going to get there. But when JP throws the nailer, hold your breath. Next up is Nick Gonzalez, broken bat. Get it, Cole! And just can't get to that ball in time. Rolls to Luke Raley. And a broken bat single there by Nick Gonzalez. Next up is Ryan O'Hearn, and hopefully we get a slow dribbler up the middle for a double play. We can bail out Rucker. First pitch by Rucker, painting that corner with a curveball. Pretty pitch there by Michael. 0-1 count. Bottom of the 5th, runner at first with 1 out. We're down by 4. We've come back by, 4 or 5 runs, but can't give up a whole lot here. And another base knock into Randy Arosarena on a ground ball. And now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. Remember, Rucker, Hoppe, and Davila are all AAA guys, so can't expect a whole lot. And next up is Endy Rodriguez. Already has a 2 RBI game for the catcher. Got to limit the damage. Walk, 2-run double, and a run. First pitch is fouled off, out of play, 0-1 count. Just got to pray that we can keep him at 5 for the rest of the game, and then we can just chip away, get it to 5-2, 5-3, 5-4, and hopefully down only a run or 2 by the time we get to the 8th or the 9th inning to give us that one last, effort chance, to try to, take this game into extra innings, and somehow, some way, by a miracle, we come back and win 6-5. Obviously wishful thinking, but, you never know. It's not like we haven't done it before. 0-2 pitch. In there for a strike, and that is strike 3 on the curveball. Beautiful pitch there by Michael Rucker, and that is 2 away. Good job, Michael. Down goes Endy Rodriguez on strikes looking, which is pretty shocking. And next up in the 7 hole, right fielder Tyler Callahan. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And once we can get Ashcraft out and we can get a meltdown by their bullpen, hopefully we'll be able to have a big 3, 4, 5 run inning. First pitch into Callahan for a strike, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Very close from painting that corner. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rucker to Callahan. Callahan, obviously did not play yesterday, and with Rucker, definitely has some pretty good control for the most part so far. 1-1 pitch, popped him up. Should be a routine play, you hope, here for J.P. Crawford, and that is out number 3. Good job, Rucker. Did something that Wu couldn't do, and leave those runners at first and second. Nice job. All right, now we need our bats to come alive. I mean, we need to bunt, do whatever it takes. We need some stolen bags. We need some bunts. We need home runs. We need RBIs. We need to get going here. We're already in this 4-run deficit. It's going to take a hell of a lot of an effort here. But we will have 4 innings to go. We need a little bit of that Soto mojo and that Mariner magic. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with an RBI and a K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a K, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. If we can get singles by Julio and Naylor, and Randy hits a 3-run jack to get it to 5-4, I mean, we're right there. But again, we got to be able to find a way to get back-to-back hits, and we were able to do that in the first inning with JP, Cal, and Julio. But can we do it again? That is the question. Good job by Rucker. 58 subs to go to 24,400. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. And we should be at 100 likes by now, I assume. Or right there. We got 149 in the room. Where are we at? We're at 99. Can we get one person to hit that like button to get to 100? And then we'll be right there. 1 like away. One more to 100. Come on, Julio. First pitch to Julio. Big swing and a miss with the curveball by Ashcraft. And let's look at his pitch count. He's got to get his... He's at 73 pitches. That's not good. So he'll pitch this inning and probably 1 more. Unless we can rough him up this inning. 0-1 pitch. Little dribbler towards third and foul. I was hoping that he was going to be in the 80s by now, but he's at 74. So I don't know. Unless we can have a couple long at-bats, by Naylor and Randy and Naylor, to get that pitch count up into the mid-80s, the high 80s. But we'll see. We need hits. We need RBIs. We need walks. We need bunts. We need home runs. We need everything. 0-2 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Ashcraft to Julio Rodriguez. And Ashcraft hasn't even walked 1 batter yet and has got 8 Ks. So 1-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 looking. Ashcraft with punch out number 9. Got to get out of here. Got to get him out of the game for us to come back. Down goes Julio Rodriguez. Ashcraft with punch out number 9. Next up is Josh Naylor. We need home runs, baby. And once we get our first home run, another one usually comes shortly after. But who's going to be the guy that starts the party? First pitch is low and at the knees to Josh Naylor, 1-0 count. Now, I mean, we've gotten 5 hits today. It's not like we have, no hits or 1. We got 5. We went back to back at the beginning of the game, and then we went, runners stranded in the second and third. But baseball is hard, especially when we're going against their number 1. I mean, imagine, it's like us going against Bryce Miller. It's not going to be easy all the time, especially when that number 1 guy is locked in. And then on top of that, our guy, ends up having a meltdown and gives up 5 runs. it's tough. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees, but essentially, Ashcraft is the Bryce Miller to us. So 2-0 pitch, another ball, low and away. 3 balls and no strikes to Josh Naylor. 3-0 pitch, gets the corner, low and away. I was hoping that would be ball 4. I mean, anything to start a rally. 3 balls and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. Come on, Josh. Force the walk. And then again, if it's right there, let's see, if you can get a single or double, or, if you're lucky enough to get a home run. But, I mean, Ashcraft doesn't give up that many. 3-1 pitch. In there for a strike. 3-0 count now goes to 3-2 immediately. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. 5-1 Pirate lead. 3-2 pitch. And a little blooper into center field. And that is 2 away. Yeah, and we're the most home run dependent team, so that's another thing too. When you don't hit home runs, it's hard to win. Next up is Randy Arosarena. Come on, Randy, you're due for a homer. I mean, even getting it to 5-2 would be huge, just to kind of chip away. First pitch as he backs out of the box. 0-1 count, right down the middle. 0-1 pitch, another strike, high and inside. God, Ashcraft is just wheeling and dealing. (0-2 pitch). And bat goes flying for Randy, and that is strike 3. Yikes. Ten punch outs there for Ashcraft, and we just got to hope that we can get him out. But again, he's at 85 pitches, so assuming he'll go 1 more inning, and then we're only going to have 2 innings to try to get 4 runs. It's a lot to ask, and also assuming that we keep it at 5. But all right, let's see who's next up here for the Pirates. Next up, 1 for 2 with a run in RBI, center fielder Jake Mangum. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, Jared Triolo. And batting third will be Esmeralyn Valdez. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th, 5-1 Pittsburgh. All right, we're at 115 likes. Thank you so much. $85 to $200. $58 subs to go to 24,400. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. And we're at 115 likes, 85 to 200. Now, well, you can't expect to put up 5 to 10 runs on a guy that's their number 1 pitcher. I mean, every once in a blue moon, a number 1 pitcher will have a bad game, but for a guy that's got a 6-3 record and there is their number 1, you had to assume it was going to be pretty tough, even though we have a really good lineup. I mean, this is probably one of the strongest lineups we've had, but sometimes the pitchers are just on, and that's what you're getting here. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Rucker to Mangum. And hopefully Rucker will continue to play somewhat decent. Game day in the building. What's good? 1-2 pitch. Low and away. Curveball, 83 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 6th, 5-1 Pittsburgh. And we did win yesterday after being down 2-1 and came back and won 3-2 with a big 2-run jack by Cole Young with Luke Raley on board. But it's going to take a little bit more to win this one. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Nice job there by Rucker, the AAA pitcher, with another punch out, and that is 1 away. Next up in the 9-hole, shortstop Jared Triolo. On deck is Esmeralyn Valdez. Obviously, with the Mariners, like any team, when we go against a number one, sometimes it gets challenging, as well as, left-handed pitching is not our forte as well. So those are the two things that we struggle at the most as far as our hitters. Regardless if the lefty is, 6-3 or 3-6, and even if they have an ERA of 1 or 11, we have a hard time hitting lefties for the most part. And then obviously number ones, in the rotation are tough for us as well. 1-1 pitch. Takes a strike, looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jared Triolo. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to dig deep. One-two pitch and a line drive. J.P. Crawford with a jumping catch. Nice job by J.P. Crawford, robbing that hit by Triolo. Oh, that would have been a single for sure. Nice job by JP, and that is 2 away. Good defense there by JP Crawford. Just tall enough to get that ball in that top of the mitt. Great job, JP. Next up is Esmeralyn Valdez. On deck is Brandon Lau. First pitch is a ball to Valdez, 1-0 count. Bottom of the 6th, 5-1 Pittsburgh. 1-0 pitch, beautiful sinker right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rucker to Valdez. One pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. Curveball, 82 miles an hour, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Esmeralyn Valdez. 1-2 pitch. There we go. Back to back. Great innings by Michael Rucker, not giving up any runs in the 5th or the 6th. Great job. Good job by Michael Rucker. And obviously, him and Nick Davila are starting to climb quite a bit higher. Hoppy is our worst in the pen at the moment, and Rucker and Davila are doing very well as of late, even though Davila walks a lot. ERA is 0. Rucker has been pitching pretty good lately. Good job. And again, Ferrer and Spire and Bizzardo need to step up every time we get them out there. All right, and we need to get some offense going here. But again, we need Ashcraft to get out of the game. And obviously, the longer that he stays in the game, the harder it's going to come back. Ashcraft's got 10 Ks, but he is at 86 pitches. So we assume this will be his last inning. But hopefully we can rough him up before he ends up getting out of the game. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. It'd be great if we can get a single, double, or a home run here. Batting second, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, right fielder Luke Raley. Same thing for Luke. And batting third, 1 for 2, second baseman in the 8-hole, Cole Clutch Young. Trident's up. Let's go, Elms. Let's see if we can get to 2 or 3 by the time this inning is over, if possible. And they're going to pull Ashcraft. Wow, we'll take it. Bringing in the righty, Carmen Blazinski, and hopefully we can rough up Carmen. I did not think that they would pull him, but At least we're going to have 3 innings to come back now. All right, Carmen Mlodzinski coming in, and hopefully we can get a meltdown. I did not expect Ashcraft to get pulled, but that's a good sign. All right, Carmen Mlodzinski coming in, and hopefully we can make him pay. Let's go, Dom. Great job there by Ashcraft. Obviously, they're number 1. Got 10 Ks on the Mariners, which is not anything that we like to see on any given night. All right, top of the 7th. I thought for sure we would only have 2 innings, but again, they decided to pull Ashcraft, and hopefully that was a mistake. And let's see if we can get some magic here in the 7th inning. We got to try to get a run in the 7th, or at least a run or 2, and then a run or 2 in the 8th and a run or 2 in the 9th. So unless we have one monster inning, which could happen as well. First pitch takes a strike, looking low and away to Dom. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Little dribbler towards first and foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Great job by Michael Rucker giving us a chance. And now we just got to have these batters hopefully tear up the bullpen the rest of the way. Come on, Dom. We just need a little spark to get us going. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. And, we are one of the better teams in baseball in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Not obviously when you're down 4 runs, it stinks. Let's be honest. But again, it's not like we haven't come back, from a 3, 4, 5 run deficit in the past. We have, so. 1-2 pitch. Hard hit ball into left field and foul. Now, if Rucker would have given up a run per inning, then that point, the game at 7-1 would probably be over. But he did great. Didn't give up a run in the 5th or the 6th. So now it's up to the batters to do their job. And hopefully they'll get a little bit of that Soto mojo and that Mariner magic here at PNC Park. 1-2 pitch to Dom. High and away. And we're going to get challenged by Andy Rodriguez. And that ends up being strike 3. Call is overturned. Down goes Dominic Canzone. That stinks. And that is 1 away. Good challenge there by Rodriguez. All right, next up is Luke Raley. Let's see if we can get a single or double for Luke. And then maybe Cole can hit another home run like he did yesterday. Remember, Luke ended up stretching a single into a double late last night. And then that turned into that 2-run jack by Cole. We might need that same thing to happen here again. First pitch to Raley, fouls it behind the plate, 0-1 count. Because if we can get Luke at first or second, and then Cole can make some magic happen, and it's 5-3, we'll definitely have a chance. Only down by 2 runs with a couple innings to go, but we got to have some magic happen. Oh, 1 pitch. Takes a strike right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes to Luke Raley. Come on, Luke. Oh, 2 pitch. Low and at the knees with a curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. With nobody on and 1 out. Top of the 7th. 5-1 Pittsburgh. Carmen Mlodzinski on the mound. Luke Raley in the box. One-two pitch. Popped up. And out of play. One ball and 2 strikes to Luke Raley. Come on, Luke. 1-2 pitch. Hard hit ball towards third. There we go. Oh, foul. Thought for a second that was going to end up being fair towards that third base line, but rolls just foul. Raley switches bats. Hopefully we can get a single, double, or a home run header of Luke Raley here. Come on, Luke. We needed some of that Soto mojo. One out with no one on. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mlodzinski to Luke Raley. Come on, Luke. We need a nuke. We need a little bit of that magic. We're down 4. We need to cut into this lead. Chip away. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and a big punch out there from Ladzinski, and that is 2 away. All right, come on, Cole Young. All right, next up with 2 outs. We have been good with 2 outs in the last month. We need a rally. Next up in the 8-hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young, who's got more clutch hits in the 7th inning and beyond out of any second baseman in baseball this season. On deck is Colt Emerson, and then if we can get to him, J.P. Crawford. First pitch to Young is in there for a strike. 0-1 count. Cole 1 for 2 today, and had that late inning heroic 2-run jack with Rayleigh on board when we were down 2-1 to give us the 3-2 victory yesterday here in his hometown. 0-1 pitch, high and away. And sweeper hitting the zone and called strike, even though it looked a little outside. No balls and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. Oh-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 looking. Tough. Young is challenging. We'll see if this gets overturned or not. I don't know. Looked like it hit the corner, but let's see. And it is confirmed, and that is strike 3. Oh, it ends up getting overturned. It's a ball. Thank God. I thought, oh, that's strike 3 for sure. Good call there by Young. Call is overturned. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. Come on, Cole. 1-2 pitch, hard hit ball into left field, fading foul. Count still remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. 1-2 pitch, hard hit ball, out of play. 4-seam fastball there by Carmen Ladzinski. 1 ball, 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Carmen Ladzinski on the mound. Cole Clutch Young in the box. Come on, Cole. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. We just got to get anybody on base, with a walk, hit by pitch, something, as long as the batter doesn't get hurt, unless Cole can get a single, double, or home run here. 2-2 pitch, and popped him up. Should be a routine play here in shallow left field, and that is out number 3. Tough. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning and see who's up next here for Pittsburgh. All right, next up for the Pirates here in the bottom of the 7th inning, 0 for 3 in the 2-hole, second baseman Brandon Lau. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a K, left fielder Brian Reynolds. And batting third in the 4-hole, third baseman Nick Gonzalez. And now they're going to be bringing in Nick Davila. Has a problem with walks, but his ERA, I believe, is still 0. So we'll see how this goes. But great job by Michael Rucker, and hopefully Nick Davila can do the same. All right, Nick Davila on the mound and starting it off against Brandon Lau. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. And first pitch ends up being a little blooper into right field in front of Luke Raley. Over Young's head, had no chance at that play, and that is a single there for Lau. Next up in the 3-hole, left fielder Brian Reynolds, 1 for 3 with a K. And then on deck is Nick Gonzalez. A little dribbler towards first on that slider by Nick Davila. Foul, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-1 Pittsburgh. ERA is still of 0. 9 strikeouts, but 9 walks. So that's a little concerning there with Davila. But with that being said, those individuals that did get walked have not come home. So to have an ERA of 0 is quite spectacular, especially for a AAA guy. Nick Davila on the mound, Brian Reynolds in the box. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Davila to Reynolds. And then tomorrow's game is going to be very early, 9:35 a.m. Pacific time. So set your schedules accordingly and eat some breakfast and watch the game here at the NWSF. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Davila to Reynolds. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 2-1 pitch. Low and at the knees. Slider missing there. 3 balls and 1 strike to Brian Reynolds. Three-one pitch. High and away, and Davila with another walk. Runners at first and second with no outs. We need a double play bad. Strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. And that's kind of the common theme with Nick Davila. Next up is Nick Gonzalez. On deck is Ryan O'Hearn. And Gonzalez shows bunt. Wish we would have done that earlier in the game. Goes behind the plate and foul. 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Little dribbler up the middle. Fuck, no play. Everyone is safe. JP dove for it. Emerson ended up getting the ball, but just no play to third, second, or first. Brutal. Yeah, and if Emerson would have thrown to first and it would have been wild, then that runner would have scored from third and we'd be down 6-1. So, sometimes, it is smart not to throw, especially if it's going to be not a good throw. But now we got Nick Davila with bases loaded and no outs, and we're already down by 4 runs. Not ideal. Now we got Ryan O'Hearn in the box, and I hope we don't give up a grand salami. That's the last thing that we need. Yeah, and sometimes this happens, when you go against their number 1 guy, a lot of teams probably say the same thing when they go against Bryce Miller. They're like, oh God, this guy, so just not our day today. We had a good first inning, but, really haven't been able to do a whole lot since that first inning. So, and it's kind of a damn shame because the lineup was spectacular. I mean, if you look at the names 1 through 9, it's not like we're going against a left-handed pitcher, but, you're going against their number 1. And the number 1 was a righty today. First pitch is fouled off, high and away there by Ryan O'Hearn, 0-1 count. And a hard hit ball into right field. It drops. And how many is that going to score? At least 2, maybe 3. 2-run double, 7-1 Pittsburgh. And at this point, more than likely over, if we're being honest. But hopefully we'll be able to put up at least a few more runs before the game is over to give us some momentum for tomorrow morning's game. But, you can only play so many AAA guys, before you get roughed up. And Nick Davila giving up his first runs of the year. Runners now at second and third with no outs. And now we're down 7-1. Tough. I guess we have to be thankful that we came back and won yesterday. So, we still have a chance to win the series tomorrow. First pitch to Rodriguez is high and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch. Fouled off, out of play. Slider at 88 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at second and third and no outs. Bottom of the 7th, 7-1 Pittsburgh. Luckily we don't get blasted like this often. But anytime it happens, it definitely stings. There's no doubt about that. It also shows you, when you're a home run dependent team, if you don't get it, those home runs, it's really hard to win. And every once in a blue moon, we'll be able to get 5 to 10 hits and that'll be enough, but not today. And another hit and another RBI. God, make the bleeding stop. 8-1 Pittsburgh. Oh. Next up is Tyler Callahan. Runners on the corners at first and third, and we still don't have an out. Popped up. We might be able to get our first out finally. Randy is there, and that is 1 away. Runner tags up from third, and 9-1 Pittsburgh. Golly, make it stop. O'Hearn scoring there on that sac fly there by Callahan. Next up in the 8-hole, center fielder Jake Mangum. Nine runs on 12 hits, huh? Brutal. First pitch to Mangum, big swing and a miss, high and away, 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Nick Davila to Jake Mangum. Bottom of the 7th, 9-1 Pittsburgh. Obviously, we're not going to come back in this game, but hopefully we'll be able to get to at least 3 before this game is over. Maybe get a couple home runs for some individual stats, and hopefully that'll carry over until tomorrow morning's game, which was very early. It'll be at 9:30 a.m. Pacific. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Davila to Mangum. Just wasn't our day today. 1-2 pitch. And a little blooper up the middle. And fielder's choice at second, and that is 2 away. Next up is Jared Triolo, and hopefully this will be the last batter in this inning. I mean, it was bad enough when we gave up 5 runs in the 4th, and now we gave up 4 runs in the 7th. Not ideal, to give up all the runs in 2 separate half innings, but that's where we're at here today. And obviously, Ashcraft just killed us. 10 Ks, Can't win when you only score 1 run in 5 hits and have an error. Got to be better tomorrow. and hopefully they get some good rest here tonight, and again, they're going to have to get going early and often with a very early start at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Big swing and a miss, low and away with a slider. No balls and 2 strikes to Jared Triolo. They got us in the pits. But on the bright side, if you're a fan of the Bear, that last season debuts tomorrow. So after the Mariner game tomorrow, hopefully we win the series. That will be binge-watched by me, the last season of that show tomorrow. Very excited about that. I mean, especially if you're a fan of Shameless, the Bear is a great show. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Slider 88 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jared Triolo. 1-2 pitch, low and away. Slider missing again there by Davila. 2 balls, 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, 9-1 Pirates. Two pitch. Little dribbler up the middle. Emerson is there. Fielder's choice to Cole Young. And finally, the bleeding stops. And that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 8th inning. We got 2 innings to get 8 runs. We know that's not going to happen. But if we can, just get at least a run in the 8th and a run in the 9th, just something. Home runs would be, would be nice. But we'll see. All right, let's see who's up next year for the Mariners. And at this point, you're just trying to get your stats up. We'll get a little bit of momentum as we go into tomorrow morning's early broadcast. All right, next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop Colt Emerson. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run and a K, third baseman J.P. Crawford. I am batting third, 1 for 3 in the 2-hole, catcher Big Dumper Cal Raleigh. Trident's up, let's go M's. 58 subs to go to 24,400. All right, 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. And we're at 127 likes. Let's see if we can get to 150. Yeah, I mean, when you're the most home run dependent team out of all 30 teams, so it's like we have talent. There's no, doubt about that. But, when we don't home run in a game, we typically don't win, So, and again, obviously, if you do homer, you got to hope that, at times you get a 2-run jack or a 3-run bomb or a grand salami and whatnot. But, we have to be thankful that Cole Young hit that big 2-run jack and helped us win yesterday. Otherwise, we'd be on the brink of getting swept going into tomorrow's game. So we have to, think positive. And, if we win tomorrow morning, we still win the series. And again, we're still in first place in the AL West. We still have, 2 games above 500, which isn't the greatest, but, hard hit ball there. All the way back to the wall. Holy cow. What a catch. Mangum robbing Colt Emerson. And that was one of the hardest hit balls we've seen all night. And of course they catch it. Nothing going our way here today. But did he catch it? Yeah, he caught it. He didn't drop it. What a play by Mangum. Great job there by Mangum, robbing Colt Emerson. So no home run by Colt. But let's see if J.P. Crawford or Cal Raleigh can have a little magic here. I mean, anything that we can get in the 8th and the 9th, hopefully will carry over to tomorrow morning. First pitch is a ball to J.P. Crawford, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, in there for a strike. Four-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour, high and away. Carmen Mladzinski on the mound, J.P. Crawford in the box. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss there by JP. 1 ball and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. And this is what it's about, when you're a Mariner fan or a baseball fan in general. It's not always going to go your way. It's a long season, 162 games. So, you're going to have great days and you're going to have bad days. Popped up, and Mangum is there, and that is 2 away. All right, last but not least, it's the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And let's see if Cal can hit a home run to at least get us to 2 before this game is over. Let's go, big dumper. Got home run number 8, so if he gets a home run here, it'll be home run number 9. And he's only 2 away from double digits. Pacing right now for about 20 to 25 home runs, which is quite a bit of a drop-off from last season, but obviously the injuries have been a factor. And him getting overworked, not only in the, WBC, but all the things that he participated last year with all those games that he played, and then, the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby and the WBC and spring training. So obviously it caught up to him. First pitch fouled off by Cal, 0-1 count. And a hard hit ball by Cal Raleigh, deep right field, line drive, and unfortunately that is out number 3. Just can't catch a break today. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th. And let's see who's up next for the Pirates. And then after that, we'll have one last inning in the top of the 9th to try to get at least a run before the game is over. But we're definitely getting pounded today. There's no doubt about that. All right, next up for the Pirates, 1 for 2 with an RBI and a K, right fielder Esmerin Valdez. Batting second, 1 for 4 with a run, second baseman Brandon Lau. And batting third, left fielder Brian Reynolds. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. Got to make the best out of a bad situation. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. So far for the Mariners, 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Pittsburgh. So shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 58 subs to go to 24,400. We're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go. And let's see how close we can get to 150 before the game is over. We're at 130. I'm curious to see who they bring in, if it's going to be Hoppy. I mean, they've been kind of going with this AAA theme, so, and it's not like you want to bring in one of your good pitchers when you're down by 8 runs. We need to save those guys for tomorrow. I remember that home run derby. Upper Deck, Ken Griffey Jr., my hero, my favorite. Met him when I was 7 years old, when he was a rookie in 1989. And Hoppy is coming in. Figured it would be him. First pitch is high and away from Hoppy to Valdez, 1-0 count. And hopefully Hoppy, probably our worst player in the pen at the moment, can have a good outing here. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hoppy to Valdez. All right, Weston Wilson fills in for Randy Arosarena in left field. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hoppy to Valdez. One-two pitch, high and away. Four-seam fastball missing there by Hoppy. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 8th, 9-1 Pirates. And, luckily, out of a 162-game season, we usually only get blasted like this maybe about, 10 to 12 times, throughout, a full season. And unfortunately, this is one of those 10 to 12 games. Pitch fouled off behind the plate there by Valdez. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. 2-2 pitch from Hoppy. Hard hit ball in a deep right field. All the way back to the wall. And Valdez is going to get at least a double here. Second double for Valdez, and I don't think anyone anticipated that. Next up, second baseman Brandon Lau. On deck is Brian Reynolds. We need a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. Little slow dribbler up the middle. Throw to first. And that is one away. Runner goes to third. Valdez. Next up is Brian Reynolds. On deck is Nick Gonzalez. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Bottom of the eighth, 9-1 Pittsburgh. Runner at third with one out. First pitch from Hoppy to Reynolds. Four-seam fastball, high and away, 1-0 count. Got stomped today, but still have a chance to win the series tomorrow morning. 1-0 pitch, high and away. Four-seam fastball missing there. 2 balls and no strikes from Hoppy to Reynolds. Two-0 pitch, and another hit dropping into center field. Julio picks it up, but not after another run scores. 10-1 Pittsburgh. Yikes. And the hit streak continues for Brian Reynolds. No home runs for Pittsburgh, but they didn't need them. 13 hits. I wish we could have a game like that. Next up is Nick Gonzalez. On deck is Ryan O'Hearn. You know, it's not often that we get beat up by a team that doesn't even hit one home run, but you know, there's a first for everything. Beautiful ballpark there at PNC. First pitch in there for a strike, low and at the knees, 0-1 count. Wow, they scored 17 runs without a homer and one earlier in the year, so this is the second most that they've had. That's crazy. How do you score 17 runs without one home run? Man, that's crazy. I mean, 10-1 is bad, but man, 17? Yikes. 1-1 pitch from Hoppy. Low and away. Four-seam fastball missing. 2 balls and 1 strike to Nick Gonzalez. Bottom of the eighth, runner at second with 1 out, 10-1 Pittsburgh. And this will be the last day of the heat wave in Oregon and Washington of 90-degree temperatures, which I'm very thankful for. So it'll go down to the 60s and 70s for about a week, and we should get some rain over the weekend. So I'm very excited about that. I know Paisley is as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Gonzalez. Come on, Hoppy. 2-2 pitch, out of play. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hoppy to Gonzalez. Two-two pitch, big swing and a miss. And we finally get an out, and that is 2 away. Or did he get a tip on that? I guess he got a foul tip on it. I thought he missed it completely. Looks like he just got a tip on it. Foul ball into the catcher's mitt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Gonzalez. 2-2 pitch. Little dribbler up the middle. Throw to first. And that is 2 away. All right, 1 more out. Next up is Ryan O'Hearn. First pitch to O'Hearn is in there for a ball, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 2 doubles, a single, 2 runs, and 2 RBIs, 10 runs, 14 hits. And normally when the Mariners, score a big, outing like this, if we were to win, let's say 10-1, normally the next game we get like 0 or like 1. So hopefully that'll be the case for Pittsburgh tomorrow, where they get all their runs out today, and then tomorrow they end up putting up 0 or 1, and then we put up 5 or more, and we can end up winning the series. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike, looking low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan O'Hearn. 1-1 pitch, and popped up into right field, and drops for another hit. Jesus. And another run scores. God, we just can't get a break today. 11-1 Pittsburgh. Make it stop. Third double for Ryan O'Hearn. Luke Raley just can't get to any of those balls out there in right field today. Next up is Endy Rodriguez. $11-1 now. Pitches low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And the Pirates don't even have 1 home run. It's crazy. But tomorrow will be better. I mean, we're still first place, so, and there's only 2 teams that have a plus minus in the American League, and we're one of them. Yankees are the other. So finally, a little slow dribbler. Hoppy ends up tapping the bag, and finally we get out number 3. So, when you have AAA guys in the bullpen that come in, you can't expect a whole lot. And, we're saving our good ones for tomorrow. And, again, we'll see if we can get some late inning stat padding. If we can get something out of Julio, Naylor, or Weston Wilson. It might end up just being a bang, 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 real quick inning and, game over, 11-1. And, but I wouldn't mind Julio or Naylor hitting a home run to get a little bit of momentum going into tomorrow. And then adding to their totals for the season would be great. Because I believe Julio's at, 14? So this would be 15 if he can get a homer here. 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 Ks, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a K, first baseman Josh Naylor. And then obviously Randy Arozarena would have been up, but they're going to bring in Weston Wilson. And you don't expect really Weston Wilson to do anything, but they might have been mentally checked out at this point. So it might just be a very quick, 1, 2, 3 innings. So we'll see. All right, when you're getting blasted and stomped like this, at this point, you just want anything, positive moving forward here. But, might be tough when you're down 10 runs. 0-1 pitch, in there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes from Ladzinski to Julio Rodriguez. And they've been lucky enough. They've only used 2 pitchers out of our 4. Went with Wu, and then obviously Rucker, Davila, and then Hoppy. And Julio with a hit up the middle. There we go, Julio. We'll take a single all day and all night. Much better than a strikeout. Great job there by Julio Rodriguez. Add another stat to your, totals in 2026. A lot of guys would be just, fuck it. It's the end of the game. We're getting blasted. But at least Julio still playing. Good job, Julio. Single up the middle. Let's see if Josh Naylor can knock him in. Sometimes when you get those big, home runs or big plays in the 8th and the 9th inning, they usually carry over to the next game. First pitch to Naylor is high and inside. 0-1 count, painting the corner beautifully there by Mlodzinski. Naylor had 8 home runs, so if he hits a home run here, it'll be number 9. He's got 33 ribbies on the season. 0-1 pitch. And Naylor... nice, hits one into the gap, and now we got runners at first and second. Where has this been? We could have used this, many innings ago. But great effort there by Julio and Josh Naylor, back-to-back singles. Great job. And now next up, filling in for Randy Arosarena, Weston Wilson, the former Oriole. Let's see if Weston can give us some magic. It would be great if we can get to 2 or 3. It looks a lot better on the scoreboard than fucking 11-1. So. And Wilson pops it up, a little blooper in right, and caught. Throw back to first, and safe. And that is 1 away. Weston Wilson flies out. All right, next up is the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzoni. If he hits a home run here, it'll be 11-4. Let's go, Dom. On deck is Luke Raley, and then if we can get to him, Cole Clutch Young. First pitch to Dom is high and away, 1-0 count. Top of the 9th inning, runners at first and second with 1 out. 1-0 pitch. And Canzone. Hard hit ball, deep center field. Caught at the warning track. Julio tags up. And safe at third. And that is 2 away. Runners now at second and third with 2 outs. Let's see if Luke Raley can give us a little magic here. All right, we're down to our final out. But if Luke Raley can get an RBI, it could be 11-2. He hits a home run, it could be 11-4. I mean, obviously, we're not going to come back and win, but, anything is better than 11-0 or 11-1, so. Come on, Luke. I would love a nuke or an RBI here. Come on, Raley. And we got Cole Young on deck. First pitch, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. 1-0 count. Now, got to be as positive as you can in a bad situation. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. Top of the 9th, 11-1 Pirates. We have a very early game tomorrow, 9:35 a.m., 9:30 a.m. Pacific. 1-0 pitch. And Raley pops it up behind the plate to the PNC Park Bricks. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luke Raley. Right ends up. Let's go, M's. Come on, Luke. 1-1 pitch. Little dribbler towards behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at second and third and 2 outs. One-two pitch. High and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mlodzinski to Luke Raley. And then we'll quickly go over the stats after the game is over, and then we'll be able to relax for the rest of the night, and hopefully we bring our A game tomorrow morning. Eat some breakfast and watch the Mariners and Pirates with me. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and that is the ball game. Tough. All right, let's go over the stats here quickly. All right, Valdez going 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Filling in for Horowitz, that went 0 for 1. Brendan Lau, 1 for 5 with a run. Brian Reynolds, 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Nick Gonzalez, 2 for 5 with 2 runs. Ryan O'Hearn, wow, 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Crazy. Andy Rodriguez, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs as well. Tyler Callahan 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, as you can see a theme. Jake Mangum 1 for 4 with an RBI, and then Jared Triolo 0 for 4. And let's quickly go over the Mariners here. JP Crawford 1 for 4 with a run. Cal Raleigh 1 for 4. Julio Rodriguez 2 for 4 with an RBI. Josh Naylor 2 for 4. Randy Arozarena 0 for 3. Dominic Canzone 0 for 4, which is unfortunate. Luke Rayleigh 0 for 4, unfortunate as well. Cole Young 1 for 3. And last but not least, Colt Emerson 0 for 3. We'll play better tomorrow. Sometimes it just doesn't go our way. Final score, Pirates 11, Mariners 1. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Tridents up and go Mariners.